students and honorable guests to the 4th convocation program for the students who have successfully completed DPM, that is, Diploma in Pharmaceutical Management, in the academic year of 2011-12. It's my pleasure to introduce all our honorable guests. Each one of them are cherry-picked icons from the same galaxy, pharmaceuticals. Today we have with us our honorable guest, Mr. A.K. Sarkar. Mr. Sarkar has done his Masters in Human Resource Management after obtaining a degree in law. Mr. Sarkar has also participated in various workshops and management development programs, including Counseling Skills for Managers by XLRI and Basic Human Process Lab of ISABS. Mr. Sarkar is a life member and present Vice Chairman of National Institute of Personnel Management. Mr. Sarkar is associated with Albert David Limited as General Manager, Personnel. In spite of a busy professional schedule, Mr. Sarkar spends a lot of time for social cause. Now I request Ms. Kaveri to hand over the flower bouquet and memento to Mr. A.K. Sarkar. Thank you, Kaveri. So, now it's our pleasure to call upon Mr. A.K. Sarkar to say something from his experience to these young students.
First of all, my profound apology. I cannot be here for the entire day. It's lovely to see the young boys and girls. Mr. Chatterjee with me for so many years, and he has persuaded me to be over here today. Since I had to leave little early because of my family commitment, I was trying to share some of the HR points on interview topics. There are 10 commandments, which I will just brief you and then give a copy to Mr. Chatterjee. You can get a copy of that also. Mr. Chatterjee. Sorry. And then, if required, I told them that some seminars or training programs I can share my thoughts and beliefs with you. The commandments are how to face an interview, the important checklists. Point number 1 is arrange and carry your paperwork serially in a nice portfolio. This makes you look organized and professional. Point number 2 is dress appropriately. Do not dress casually. Today, you may call it conventional, but get the job is the first criteria for all of you. So nowadays, interviews are also scheduled on Sundays and holidays. Even there also, try to get your dressed in a professional manner. Point number 3 is don't use strong perfume. Point 4 is smile, offer a handshake immediately after entering the room. Say hello to your interviewers. 4 is during and after the initiation process, read the mood of the interviewers. This is very, very important. Then wait to be told to take a seat or ask if it's okay. Then say thank you, sir. Then, if it's possible, without making a commotion, pull your chair to the close of the interviewers and try to have a hello effect with them. Sit properly. Then even train, and this will help you to get a final call from them. Last is, this is the year of Rabindranath's 150th birth anniversary. I will give you a one-line quote, which is, the fundamental desire of life is the desire to exist. The people, those who exist, they win in the life. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I introduce to you Mr. Pranav Raychaudhuri, who has spent his professional career in pharmaceutical marketing. Mr. Raychaudhuri has served as Senior Manager in Roche International and Deputy General Manager in Nicholas Piramal Limited. He has visited abroad several times to attend international training and workshops, and in turn trained more than 10,000 aspirants and working professionals of pharmaceutical marketing field. Post-retirement, Mr. Raychaudhuri has joined Careergraph Institute of Management Studies as Director, Training and Management Studies. Now I request Ms. Shonchari to hand over the flower bouquet and memento to Mr. Rachobri. Next honorable guest, Mr. Partho Mukherjee. Mr. Mukherjee has rich pharmaceutical experience for 23 years. Mr. Mukherjee started his career in draft, worked in renowned pharmaceutical houses like Wockhardt Ipca in senior managerial position. He has worked as Vice President in Anglo-French Drugs and Industries Limited. Presently, Mr. Mukherjee is heading 2 divisions of Allen Laboratories Limited as Vice President Sales and Marketing. Now I request Ms. Tanushri to hand over the flower bouquet and memento to Mr. Mukherjee.
My young friends, and my regards to Mr. Partho Mukherjee on dais, with the guest and speaker. Speaker is guest, sorry. It is my pleasure to address you. You are coming from different colleges in West Bengal and Orissa. So, you have enrolled your name in the DPM course run by Choreograph. As you have seen, those who have attended the class, we have given you around 15 or 16 classes. These are called contact program classes. Otherwise, it is a distance learning course. You have learned in your respective colleges about the subjects that is well known to you. We have tried in the contact program classes to handle this, the questions coming from you, and it was handled in the respective, by the respective teachers on the respective subjects. So you got a, say, recapitulation scope. Otherwise, other than this, we had 6 common classes which you have attended. Common classes means those points or those subjects, those practice, those knowledge and skills required by all of you. The previous speaker, Dr. Sarkar, he has given 10 guidelines to you while appearing in the interview board. In the common classes, we have given some ideas also. And one of the programs was how fluent you were to speak in English. It is a must, it is a very important affair. Since I have heard from many of the stalwarts, those who run the interview course in the either the marketing or in the manufacturing field, they are complaining rather before me. Let them know how to express what they want to say in English. Possibly after finishing your B.Pharm courses, you know, you are knowledgeable about your all subjects. I think so. But possibly, which I have seen in most of the students, that you are not expressing well in English what you know actually. You are finding some difficulties, some innovation, some hesitations. So we have given you some techniques. With the techniques and skills, you have to practice at home. You can practice this at home, at your friend circle, outside your friend circle even, at your home front even, with your parents, or with anyone who can participate with you. I advise once again, that is a must. We should prove in the interview board that you know much. Okay? And in our say conduct program classes, we have had a 1 or 2 factory visit. In the feedback we have said, factory visits were really wanted by you. What you have seen in your study, during your study in the colleges, you have seen the machine. You have observed what are the process also. But possibly you have not seen how it is functioning, how it is producing. And that is the scope where you have found it while visiting the factory. We have got a rapport with some factories, so we could arrange it, along with the help of the senior most, those who are controlling the factories, with their help, to get them a scope, to get you a scope, so that you can learn more in the practical affair. And I can say, in your batch, 109 students were there. Out of these 9 students, already 38 students got in the placement of pharma cells. Since you know that we have got 2 fields. One is pharma cells and marketing, and the other is those who go in the say manufacturing process. So out of the 109 candidates, 38 students got placement in the pharma cells. And approximately 20 companies, they recruited them. And the major companies were Johnson & Johnson, Alembic, GSK, Abbott, Oakford, Alchem, Ipca, etc. And about 42 students were placed in the manufacturing units. Approximately 8 companies recruited their students, our students. And the major recruiters are Group Pharma, Cipla, Ranbaxy, Fresenius Kabi, Torrent, Ipca, Iscar, and Adlum. I have the pleasure to mention 3 of your colleagues have been offered for an international engagement, which is in at present at Dubai, namely Al Pharma, Dubai. They have received their offer letters. And this is our performance, and we are trying, our process is still continuing. In this year, it is 12-13, next year, new recruitment, new
Thank you, Sharon. Now it is our pleasure to call upon Dr. Kulhan Kumar Sen to address these young aspirants.
Respected Mr. Ashwaduri, Mr. Mukherjee, Mr. Bhattacharya, and other distinguished persons, and my dear students. Actually, Mr. Bhattacharya asked me to last year also, but I was not able to come over here. This year, anyhow, I have kept the request. This choreograph, what they are actually doing, they are giving you the finishing college or finishing school studies or curricula. Now in our curriculum or in your BPharm courses, you learn what is in the syllabus. But when you are coming into the market, you have to cater yourself. Just like before entering school, there is a requirement of preparatory school. Similarly, there is a positive requirement of a finishing college program. And normally, till now, these are not organizedly done in our state. Some of this responsibility is taken by this Karyograph and other groups. So I strongly believe that this finishing school, at least after completion of the degree, at least 6 months or 1 year, finishing school should be there to prepare the students mentally and physically also to fit the industrial environment. Now, as far as I know, here the two kind of aspirants are there. One who have groomed themselves for the market force, that is the sales force, and another who have groomed themselves for the production or manufacturing side. Now, what I can tell, the subjects you have neglected during your curriculum, that subject will play the vital role in this field, that is the either production or the market force. For example, now the production is an automated process. So whether you know how to prepare a tablet or how to prepare capsule, it's not that much required. But you require to know the regulatory part of it, because nowadays a great opening is there for the regulatory affairs. Now the subject regulatory part you have learned, that is only a portion. Now in production area you require the very much knowledge of this GMP, that is Schedule M, but in your syllabus very small part of it is covered. So these things you have to develop yourself, because these will play the major role. Another thing is that this is another regulatory affairs. Nowadays, after this GATT and all, a lot of Indian companies are doing exports. So if they are doing exports, they require to obey the guidelines of the foreign countries. And regarding that, their audit is also taking place. So when you work in if you work in that section, that is the regulatory affairs section of the industry, then you must be aware about this law and guideline of that countries where the company will be going to export their product. Similarly, in pharmaceutical sales also, there you should know the marketing strategies, which I think are not covered in detail in your curriculum. So these are the parts of the area where actually the finishing college program should look after, and these things are normally well looked by this Karyograph and all. So I must give a good thanks to them, because these things we are not able to cover during our curriculum, regular curriculum, because there is a lot of pressure to cover the syllabus, to prepare the students for the examination all. So again, I give a lot of thanks to this group for this purpose. Now, what you are going to start is your third phase. The first schooling phase, then college phase, then now the actual phase of the fighting and all. Now here you will not get lot of good friends. Here you will see your friends is trying to topple you for the promotion and for the career and etc. So here you have to develop yourself. Pharmaceutical industry is actually knowledge-based industry. So you have to be updated with the recent trends in the pharmaceutical fields. So that is a very vital thing. A lot of new things are coming. Now lot of regulations are imposed in the pharmaceutical industry. Now these guidelines you must know, at least you should see regularly that what are they actually want to tell, what is the significance of this. You do not require to recapitulate, but you should understand the meaning of this. So then only you will be able to cope up with this technology. So this I hope all of you will update your knowledge and cope up with this industry, and I wish all of you best of luck for the coming future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shin, for your valuable speech. Now I request Mr. Mukherjee to give his presentation for the students.
Good morning. Good morning. It will better. It will go better as the time will progress. Thank you very much. I especially thank choreograph Mr. Kamal Chatterjee, Mr. Rai Chaudhary for allowing me to meet people who reminds me of my earlier days. And I love to interact with budding pharma people, because in each one of you there is a prospect which industry requires. I'm also thankful to Dr. Sen for coming and giving his valuable thoughts, sharing his valuable thoughts with each one of you. Now, during my presentation, there will be one agreement done between you and me. Are we agreed to do the agreement? Yes. Yes. What is that agreement? Silence. No, sorry. It's not silence. What is the difference between monologue and dialogue? Yes. What is the difference between monologue and dialogue? Monologue is one-way communication, dialogue is both-way. So what do you expect? You expect monologue or dialogue? Dialogue. Yeah. So monologue is a little boring, because last 23 years I am talking to people. Whether it is doctor, retailer, distributor, my own colleagues, my team members, training people, talking to them. So I have adequately damaged my vocal cord. So nowadays I only believe in dialogues, not in monologues. So agreed? Yes, sir. Huh? Yes, sir. Each one of you is having a notepad and a pen? Yes, sir. Huh? So if you can keep it with you, what I will do, I will make a presentation and I will run through the slides. Now each one of you will be having a lot of questions. You will be having or not having? So let your new friends join us. One I have on the single. Ready? Normally when you go to watch IPL matches in Eden Garden, and if you are late, whatever seat you get, you sit. Isn't it? How many of you have seen cricket matches? So whenever you are late, are you allowed to sit on your seat number? So whatever you get, you sit, no? So everyone is ready with a pen and a pad? So I know each one of you will be having more than one query or questions. Okay? So please note it down. I will definitely try to answer each one of your query, provided I should not answer. My 23 years of experience may not be adequate to give answer to your question, but definitely if I don't or I will not be in a position to give you answer right now. I will get back to you and give you answer. Is that okay with all of us? Okay? And, do I need to introduce myself? Huh? There is one thing common between you and me. What is that common thing? Me and you have consciously decided to come to pharma industry. I have done it 23 years before and you are doing it today. And there is one thing which is uncommon. What is that? Most of you are born after I have started my career. Okay. So I will just rush through my slides. Give a patient hearing. I don't think I will bore you. Okay. And then whatever queries you are having, I know that as a budding professional who are almost completing your pharmacy, getting into that PG diploma, or in the final lap of your diploma or pharmacy, it's a mix of all. Each one of you will be having a lot of questions. Definitely those will be answered. Fair enough? Someone can operate? I don't always require mic. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
That's why I strain my vocal cord. So, I presently work in a company called Allen Laboratories. All of you know this Arnica Plus Heron. Huh? I need it most. So I have decided to join this company. Okay? I look after sales and marketing operation for 2 divisions. They are basically into homeopathy, allopathy and FMCG as well as Ayurvedic. So it's a very good exposure for me after spending 23 years in pharma industry. Now I am into pharma industry which also having FMCG, homeopathy exposure. So which will definitely help me to develop myself better. Next slide please. Career opportunity after B.Pharm. You can go for higher studies, young people to get into retail business. Because that license they require. So this is also a very good career option. You can become a teacher. Next. Research wing. These are all Central Drug Laboratory, State Drug Laboratory, Central Research Laboratory, UGC, all those things. Not very encouraging. I will tell you something which is not very encouraging, which I have not done. Next. Career option after B.Pharm. These are all government regulatory bodies. Many of us, driven by the wish of our parents, wants a secure life, no? Government job is very secure, especially all my lady friends. Very secure 9 to 5 job, not much of hassles. So for you, these are all options. You can start from as a drug inspector to senior drug controller to deputy drug controller, assistant drug controller and drug controller. Every state is having this entire wing, and after becoming pharmacy graduate or postgraduate, you can opt for this profession. It's a good profession, but not much of adventure in this profession. Very stereotype of thing, which I don't like personally. Next. Hospital pharmacy. You can become pharmacist in chain of hospitals. Now, there are a lot of chain of hospitals coming. Fortis, all of you know? It was Wockhardt few days back. Then now it is Fortis. There are retail chemist shop. There are chain of retail shops also. MediPlus and other companies are coming, you can see. So, excellent career opportunity. Railway hospital stores. In every railway outlet, there is a hospital stores. Meet or match your basic requirement. Apart from salary, you get some money, which is pre-decided. That is incentive. Clear? Around 30% increase with every promotion. So if you are able to promote yourself every 3 to 4 years or 5 years, apart from normal increment what you get, at one stroke you can add 30% of your income. Good one? Yes. Lot of money, lot of credit card, ATM cards, checkbooks. Okay. Wearing branded clothes,
imported watches, getting into good small cars. Everything is possible. You are on the right track, you have taken a right profession, but you have to do 99% of perspiration. All of you are genius sitting here. That 1% inspiration is there with each one of you. But the differentiating factor is 99% perspiration. And that you have to do till the day you are in this profession. I have worked in the industry for 23 years. I may still work another 20 years. So another 20 years to 365 days I have to put a harder work. Because as you grow up in the ladder, your job becomes more difficult. Yes or no? As a junior employee of any organization, you can have your Saturdays, Sundays, weekends, holidays. As a senior most person, it is 365, that to 24/7. So, one hand, you definitely come up in your career. Second hand, definitely, like your other friends, you may not be able to socialize as much as you want. So, choice is yours. If you want to socialize, do that. If you want to come up to your expected level, definitely you have to compromise there and put your efforts here. Agree? Next. That's it. Now whatever queries you are having, you please raise your hand one by one. If you are having any query, please ask. Any question? No question? There are two categories of people who will not ask you question. Category 1, who have understood everything. Category 2, who have not understood anything. Doctor wants to ask a question. Please, sir.
No, actually, I don't want to ask any question. I want to add.
Please, sir. Please.
What you have told. Some sector you have not mentioned, and if I see the production slide, then it will be better. This production slide you have.
Hello. Please. Back, go back.
Actually, what you have given here, this clinical research, that is a separate thing.
In the production, the technical part I have not touched.
In the production part, actually, there are different units. So, a lot of people are required for this, a tablet, capsule, sometimes for different products. Also, there are some different people are required for this.
For tableting, for granulation.
So they are known as either production chemists,
yes,
or production technologists.
Yes.
And that actually in India, in the pharmacy course, what we have taught, that is mostly this industrial pharmacy. The actually pharmacy course orientation is two. One is the practice side, another one is the industrial side. But this practice side is not well developed in India. That is the profession of the pharmacist. That is not well developed in India. Mostly in our courses in India, we cover the industrial part. That is the production oriented studies. So that's why there is a huge opportunity in production. Now in industry, if we separate, as before the slide before, the QCQ slide before.
Yes.
This in industry, that is in the manufacturing side, besides the production area, that means beside this production technologies, there are opportunities. These are two separate things. This QA is a new idea. Actually, QC is the finished product based and QA is company based. QC, do you follow this? QC is finished product based and QA is company based. The meaning is QC previously we work based on the finished product. After the company produce the product is technologies produce the product, then it was sent to the laboratory and the QC people, they analyze it, and if it pass all the tested, they sign it, then it will come into the market. But QA is not that. QA starts when the raw material enters into the pharmaceutical industry. When raw material enters into the pharmaceutical industry, from that part QA starts. So that actually helps to decrease the loss of product, or if the finished product is not passed, then there is a lot of loss occurred to the company. That is minimized due to the development of this QA group. So this is nowadays each and every company, previously the manufacturer, they thought they have to spend extra money, there is no requirement of that. But nowadays they have understood that, and each and every company, they are keeping people in this QA sector. So mostly each and every company, they have this QA sector, and this is an emerging one. Nowadays small companies are also maintaining one QA sector, because they have understood, this manufacturer have understood that it can prevent their loss. Next, the clinical research, another part is the clinical research. Now you know, after the new drug discovery, there is need to test the drug on the human being. After that it will come into the market. So there are 4 types of clinical studies are performed. That is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. Now after phase 3 study, if a drug is passed, it is coming into the market. So India is a big market for these studies. India is a big market for these studies. Now these studies are performed in hospital. There actually pharmacy people, they have no role. But pharmacy people have role in other area. Suppose after studying that, when the blood samples are collected and they are analyzed, then the role of the pharmacy people comes. So the serum analysis, method development, that is a bioanalytical division. And normally these are done by lot of CROs, lot of contract research organizations are developed. That is another area. In Kolkata also a lot of CROs are there, and lot of people are doing this clinical research study. In Kolkata itself, there are a lot of scope for the work as in the bioanalytical division, where the serum collected from different hospitals, they are analyzed. Another thing is also developed, what I have told in my speech, that is the regulatory affairs. The regulatory people, they have to require to prepare the documents for the exporting. So these documents are prepared by this regulatory people. So a lot of people are taken for this. Although nowadays company preferred N-Firm for that, but B-Firm people are also taken for that. Next, another thing is the knowledge processing. Now, lot of things are required nowadays for the company, that how to write the medical writing. So each product contains some pamphlets where all the pharmacokinetic data, biopharmaceutical data, all things are there. This medical writing and other knowledge regarding the products are collected, and this knowledge processing sector is also coming up, that is also emerging. There are also a lot of scope for the B-Firm people. So actually there are a lot of scopes, but proper trained person, the fact is, the proper, as Mr. Aishogiri told, 19% growth rate, it is huge. It is not that it is a very less, it is a huge growth rate. But for to meet that growth rate, proper trained personnel are not available. That is the major thing. So you have to groom yourself to fit into the industry. That is the major part. So if you groom yourself to fit into the industry, you obviously you must get a job, and I hope all of you will get a job. Thank you.
So, any question? Yeah, please. Tell me.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question is, what sort of career opportunity a person may be benefited with if he wants to pursue a distance MBA along with working in pharma marketing or sales as well as production? And my second question is, what is the process if a person working in pharma sales want to switch to pharma marketing? Thank you.
Your first question is that pursuing career and academics together. Now, let me be very honest with you. Today's career calls for so much of hardships. Employers normally do not encourage people to pursue academics as well as profession together. So my sincere advice will be to each one of you that you finish off whatever you want to do in your life in terms of academics and then get into profession. Until unless you are compelled, maybe having some family need that you want to pursue your studies. Because I know many people, those who have done some sales job for 3-4 years, got some money accumulated and then went for full-fledged MBA for 3 years and then again came back. Because this is very, very tough job post. After you are in the field from 9 AM to 10 PM and then you say ki I will do some distant education through correspondence, where you will get time. Neither you will be able to do justice to your job, nor you will be able to do justice to your academics. And your second question was, you want to get into marketing, basically, but how to get into marketing? If you want to get into marketing, as I have told you in my presentation also, you have to start off as a medical representative. You have to start off as a medical representative, work there in the field for 2 to 3 years minimum to understand the job of the salespeople, and then with a available diploma or a degree, you can get into product executive category. That is basically a position in the head office. Because 95% pharma companies corporate is in Bombay, and rest 5% across the country. Okay. If you look at Gujarat, if you look at Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, even West Bengal, all put together 5%, rest 95% is in Bombay. So you have to mentally be prepared to shift your base to Bombay by all probability, 95% chance. And prior to that, at least 2 to 3 years of field working. That is a mandatory, because without field working, I have got a very recent experience. In my previous company, there was a lady who was very good and brilliant, young girl. She was basically a biochemistry postgraduate and she was a lecturer in some college. Now she joined in my medical team. In every company, they will have a medical team headed by a doctor. So she was so brilliant in her ideas that we thought that we can put her in marketing. But as per SOP, standard operational procedure, she was not been able to be drafted to marketing because she didn't have any field experience. And she never wanted to have a field experience. The field job is tough, I will not go for that. So field working for 2 to 3 years and then you can opt for marketing. But you have to be adequately creative, you have to every time knock the door, because today you will not get anything. No one will come and give you anything. You have to remind your boss, look gentlemen, I am doing sales job but I am basically interested in marketing. So these are all small presentations I make, these are all some new ideas I give. And by doing that you have to continuously knock the door. So whenever the opportunity is there, you are caught. Okay, you have to do your own propaganda, beating your own drums. You have to do it today. What else? Any other question?
Sir, no interruption. Sir, microphone. Take.
Sir, my question about pharmacovigilance, that is the phase 4 of clinical trial.
Yeah.
How we B-Pharm people can go in pharmacovigilance sector?
Sir, I think doctor is the right person.
Yes, sir. My question to the sir.
This is this science area. I should not interfere.
Actually, pharmacovigilance means when after phase 3 trial, the drug comes into the market, then the role of pharmacovigilance starts. Now it is just like marketing job. The data should be collected from the doctors because in the phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, these three are in-house studies. So these studies are performed in very small numbers. So as compared to the population. So when the drug will enter into the market, so outer patient will also get this. So each and every doctor will keep the record of the new drug, how it is working in the open market, and that data should be collected. That is the role of pharmacovigilance people. So a lot of people can work on this, and nowadays they are working. In Kolkata, a lot of people are working. One of our students was also working on that. This phase 4 study. So in Kolkata, a lot of CROs are there. They take people for this.
Sir, every company has his pharmacovigilance sector.
Actually, I don't know how the new drug will come into the market. Normally, the sponsor who is thinking for the new drug, they give the contract to the CRO. The CRO will study this phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The investigator will give the things to the CRO. CRO on behalf of the sponsor will do study these clinical trials. Normally, a lot of companies have their own CRO, but that is not directly attached with that company. They work as a different organization. So that company employed these people for pharmacovigilance. That company employs people for pharmacovigilance. Is it? No. Pharmacovigilance is not from hospital. It is from the hospital as well as outdoor. That means for doctor's chamber, physician's chamber. Because the drug is in the open market. In the phase 4 study, the drug is in the open
and Abhishek Shri to come on the dais to collect the certificates. Please come on the dais. Please clap for the students who are collecting certificates. students. Paramita Bokshi, Paramita Jana, Pinaki Datta, Pratyush Ghosh. Please come up front.
उल्टे उल्टे सर सर्टिफिकेट घुरिए हाँ
Rahul Nag, Rajat Shubhra Mondol, Rajdeep Bhattacharya, Rajendra Majhi. Please come up front. Rakesh Kumar Harichandan, Ratnadeep Tripathi, Rupam Bhattacharya. Please come up front. Shobhinesh Das, Shobhoshachi Deogoria, Shamatrika Shaha, Shomiron Sinaroy. Please come up front. Now I request Mr. Partha Mukherjee to hand over the certificates to the students. Bivas Dhar, Vishwajit Patro, Devajyoti Ghosh, Divash Majumdar. Please come up front.
Return shot.
Noren Mohapatra, Nilasri Bhattacharjee, Pavitra Ghosh, Payal Ghosh.
Good afternoon to all of you. Before the formal vote of thanks, I'd like to have two announcements for the students. But I found that some of you are maintaining many mobile numbers. Okay, when you are trying to call you, some of the mobile numbers are switched off. Sometimes it is out of service. Please give the last active mobile number to us. Okay, don't change it very frequently because there is a time you will be going for the interview. It will be very difficult for us to convey on the information. At the same time, I will request you. I have found that some of you are telling now that I will appear in GPAT. I will see the result. Then I will consider whether I do the job or not. Please give a very clear-cut mandate that you are going to appear in the GPAT and not to wait up to that time. Send a SMS to me. I believe all of you are having my mobile number with you. Clear? And so far, our guests are concerned. They are very busy persons. Mr. Pattumukudi said they are having 365 days duty. There is no Sunday, there is no Saturday. In spite of their very busy schedule, they make it a point to share their valuable time, precious time with us, with students, and I think you are very lucky that you are getting this kind of opportunity at this age. So I especially thank Dr. Kullan Sen, who has come from more than 200 kilometers away from Calcutta. A very special thanks to Dr. Sen. He has kept my request. I give thanks to Mr. Parthu Mukherjee, who has also come out of his busy schedule. Mr. A.K. Sarkar, he couldn't stay with us, but he has also come in spite of a very serious situation in his family. And I also thank our Director Training and Management Studies, Mr. Roy Choudhury. And students, I really appreciate the enthusiasm that you have shown during the inter-guest program. With this, I request all our guests and the students to join us in the lunch, and the lunch will be held at the guest house canteen. Okay, we'll take you to the guest house canteen. Please join us in the lunch.